Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to my channel, Love, Truth, and Wisdom Tarot Guidance. I am here today bringing you guys another pick a card reading. This one's going to be a little different because I'm adding a new feature. I just got some new runes and I'm really excited. I love runes and I've always wanted to read them and incorporate them in my reading. So I'm going to do this reading and incorporate them into this reading. The topic is just going to be important messages you need to hear today. So it could be anything about love, life, relationships, anything at all. But I'm going to add some runes to it to give it more depth and add another layer of important messages that you need to hear from spirits and your spirit guides and the universe and all that fun stuff. So we have 4 piles here. I don't know why I'm not in the mood to use letters right now, but I'm just going to go with it. So we have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or the crystal ball, the heart emoji face, the praying hands. I call them the praying hands. I've heard other people say that it's like 2 hands clapping, but anyways, yeah. And then I think it's a mermaid or something, or some a magical mermaid thing. It's really pretty. Anyway, so those are the 4 piles. So please feel free to choose more than one pile if you feel guided to do so, because these are just important messages that you need to hear. So you could listen to all 4 or 2 or 3. It doesn't really matter, whatever you feel guided to do. I am doing personal readings and I am using I have a reading where I do runes. So if you feel guided to get a reading, whether it be tarot or runes, I'll leave that information down below. Thank you everybody for all the likes and shares and subscribes I'm getting. I truly appreciate it. I love doing this and I hope you guys enjoy these readings as much as I love doing them. And I think that's all I have to say. So I will see you at your reading. Okay, so if you chose the first pile or the magic ball, crystal ball pile, this is going to be your reading on important messages you need to hear today. So I'm going to start with your runes. Oh my god, I wish you could see them. They're so pretty. They're opaque. They're made out of opal stone, but you can't really see them because of the light, but it's not a big deal. But they're really pretty. So with runes, you read runes right to left. So the first rune is going to be the overall theme. The second rune is going to be the challenges. And then the last one is going to be actions to take. And then we'll get into your cards. So the first rune here, you have the rune of Perth. And this basically symbolizes initiation, secrets. It's kind of similar to the death card. It's about unknowable human knowledge. It's almost things that deep internally within your soul, but on a human level it kind of doesn't make sense. Almost if you get what I'm saying, it's about natural powerful forces being at work. It's about slow change toward wholeness and fulfillment. So I feel if you chose this pile, you are being initiated to a death transformation process. So you guys are changing and becoming more whole and more into yourselves, more authentic to who you really are. This rune speaks of needing to let go, or advises you to kind of let go of all material possessions with no exceptions. So with death, if you get the death card in a tarot reading, it really speaks about transformations, letting go, endings, new beginnings, cycle closing out. So this is kind of what's going on within your guys' life right now if you resonate with this. It's about you're becoming a new self, and it's this new self is who you truly are, and it's embedded deep into the core of who you really are. So it's literally about becoming who you really are, and being aligned and mind, body, and spirit. But I feel just looking at your cards here, you may be afraid to take action, and you may not be confident. You may be feeling really vulnerable right now. You may be feeling you can't move, almost you're restricting yourself mentally, because I said, this is death is a symbolic of spiritual transformation. So mentally you may be really confused and not really understanding what exactly is going on in your human 3D day-to-day life. But physically and spiritually, your soul knows what's happening. It's changing, it's forming, it's embedding new knowledge, new like downloads new information from the spirit world, from your spirit guides, from the conscious universe to help you become a better you, to be the best version of yourself, to help you overcome all these challenges, which I really do see like you're overcoming, and you do have a happy ending amidst like among you, like coming up into your life. But there needs to be like a death before the new beginning. Like something needs to die for you to have the happy, like the happy ending that you desperately want and desire. So that's what that rune is talking about. So your next rune, so that's your overview. So your next rune is your challenges in terms of the overview of what is actually going on. And you have the rune of these have names, but I have no idea how to say them, and I want to learn how to say them before I butcher them. So basically, this is just the rune. This middle rune here symbolizes wholeness, life force, sun, and energy. It's actually a really, really, really positive rune. It's kind of similar to the sun card. So after this death and transformation, you will have the sun. You will have that happy ending. You will have the wholeness. You will have that energy and great power within you to co-create the life that you want. This also speaks about going with the flow. So since this is in the challenge position, I feel like a lot of you may be struggling to go with the flow and kind of going by the natural forces of life and the natural forces of like what the universe wants for you. This also speaks like in terms of challenges, it's like you're not realizing that you have everything you need right now. You have all the power within you to create the change you want to see in your life and to create the change you want to see in the world. This also represents, like I said, going with the flow, going with divine nature, always following the path towards self-realization. So you guys could be having a hard time realizing like what, like I said, like what is actually happening, like realizing like who you are, what you love, your purpose here on earth. But I feel like you already like deep down you already know it, but mentally I feel like you're kind of like questioning yourself and like restricting yourself and not allowing this like transformation to take place, like I said, because you're just scared of what might come with that. And there's no like, you know how like when people are scared of change, it's like it's not the change you're scared of, it's more like you don't know what's going to come out in the other end. You don't know if this change is actually going to lead you to where you want to be. It's kind of like you there's no like what's the word? I can't even think of the word right now. But there's no like guarantee like this is going to give you your happy ending. Like change is already uncomfortable, and then it's like you're going to have to change, and then the universe asking, but there's no guarantees like, you know, what actually is going to happen, what you're actually going to get out of this change. But like the universe isn't saying that. That's just like your thoughts saying like keeping you restricted to keep you stuck to what you know is comfortable and familiar. But what you know is comfortable and familiar is not really helping you at this moment, and the universe is really trying to push you to move you forward so you can be your best self, so you can have the life that you want. It also speaks about letting the light in, telling the truth, being honest. And like I said, a lot of you guys are like, I feel like afraid to speak your truth or be authentic with yourself and with others, because you know that it's like it's going to change everything, that you can't do this like the same stuff that you used to do if you go through this transformation. You can't be around the same people, you can't have the same relationships, like everything's going to change. But it's like you're mentally you're saying like, oh my god, it's like you want this change, but mentally like you're scared of it because it's going to change everything, and because maybe you're afraid you're going to be alone, or you're not going to have the support that you need, or you're not going to have the help. But that's not true. Like the universe is answering your prayers for this change, and you know deep down you need to do this change or go through this transformation, and the universe is really just like not pushing it on you, but really like, what's the word, not a push, but kind of like a gentle nudge towards it. And so a lot of things may be happening in your 3D day-to-day life, which there's so much going on in the world right now, like that checks out, but it's to help you refocus and focus on something that you actually really care about, that is actually really authentic, that is actually really like embedded in you, like your real purpose of why you are on this planet, what you're supposed to be doing, your mission here. And it has nothing to do with like what society has told you it has to do with. It may have something to do with a day-to-day job or a 9 to 5 job, or you know what I'm saying, but it's so much bigger than that. Like you're here to really help humanity and help the conscious universe and play your part in it the way that whatever was intended for in your soul, your soul contract when you plan to come on this earth. So you're not just a human, you have a soul. You have a soul career and then you have a human career. Sometimes it combines together, in my opinion, and sometimes it doesn't. You just have two different things. And sometimes you can combine them together and sometimes you can't, but you always have a bigger purpose than this like human 3D like life, whatever you created for yourself. So I feel like that's going to be a challenge for you to kind of like figure out, who you are, what you care about, what your purpose is, and really speak that truth and really stand in that truth despite what society or people around you may think and say. And you're just kind of afraid to make that final decision of like, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, no matter how offbeat or how weird, quote unquote, it may seem to everybody else. Like, this is my truth and I have to live in my truth and speak my truth. This also speaks about you have great power given to you. Like, I feel like if you're watching this group, you like are a star seed or a light worker of some sort. Like, you have really a great responsibility. Like, you are very much like a leader, and that needs to be like awakened in you. And I feel like it is becoming awakened in you. You're just kind of like scared and not like confident in this because it's like all new to you and you're still kind of growing through it and learning about yourself and learning about like spirituality and yourself and your soul and your purpose and stuff like that. But it's like you're really like restricting yourself mentally with thoughts. Like, no one else is really restricting you. I feel like also a challenge is like you could be having a challenging time like thinking. It's almost like you're thinking what other people are going to think about you before you even know what they actually thinking about you, because honestly, like, no one is really thinking about you as much as you may think about them thinking about you, if that makes sense. Like, we all think like people are judging us and thinking about us and stuff, but it's not that. It's like us judging ourselves and us thinking these negative thoughts about ourselves and then like projecting that onto others, and so we think like they are, but they're actually really not. You know what I'm saying? It's like the law of attraction. Like, whatever you're thinking and feeling inside of you, you're going to project, and it's going to be like boomeranged right back to you. So I feel like that's kind of a challenge, to have like more positive thoughts and feeling more confident. And it's not like, I feel like you do feel confident, but you're just afraid to take that like final step, that like last action that needs to happen. And if you just kind of go with the flow and aim yourself and follow what you're guided to do, what your guides and spirit guides are trying to get you to do, I feel like you're going to be okay. Like I said, you have a happy ending here. So it's nothing bad. I feel like, the death process, or like kind of like a ego death, or any type of death, is a transformation. It's going to be painful, but it's not impossible. It's a challenge, but it's for the better. So you just have to keep that in mind. Like, this is happening for the better because you asked for this, you wish for this. This is part of your soul purpose. This was part of your soul plan when you came on this earth. So you kind of it's too late to turn back now. You really have to go forward and really like trust yourself, release expectations about what's going to happen, and just know like you're on the right path. Like your higher power, source, creator has your back and knows what it is you truly want deep down and wants to give that to you. But to give that to you, you have to let go. You have to surrender. You have to kind of trust that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. I'm also feeling with this rune, it also kind of speaks about manipulation. So you could be having a hard time like knowing your intentions. So manipulation usually comes from like when we don't trust in the universe, we don't trust in our higher power, we're kind of putting all our trust and power into other people. And so when we're feeling insecure or not in our power or not confident, we kind of try to control the outside, manipulate the outside world so that we feel more comfortable instead of just changing within us. So again, like I said, this speaks about, not manipulating the outside circumstances, not manipulating others, but really going within and really trying to like figure out like what exactly do I want, set that intention, and then move forth and like take the actions that you're guided to take towards that intention without trying to like change the outside so that you feel more comfortable or you feel better or you feel safe. You know what I'm saying? You have to feel safe already. You have to feel comfortable in yourself already so that reflects on the outside. So yeah, that's your challenge. So which is a kind of a big challenge, and I understand it because I've been there myself, but it it brings really, 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 really great rewards, which I see in your cards, and we're about to get to in a minute. But okay, so your last rune here speaks of the actions that you need to take, or that you're advised to take. And we have the rune of defense, aversion. It's kind of like, this is the rune of like tests, like the universe is testing you, and the universe is testing you with like difficulties. So I really do feel like a lot of you guys are going through a difficult like change right now, and it's for the better. Like, you really are going through a death process where you're changing yourself, but your thoughts about it are just so like restrictive. You're kind of like holding on so tightly to the old that the change is going to happen regardless. Let me just say that. Like, those are really, really powerful runes, because you just deserve this happy ending, but your like thoughts about it's what's keeping you like feeling worried and anxiety and stressed, and like not seeing the good that is coming from this. So I feel like the actions are telling you, like, through these inconveniences, through these difficulties, you are powerful. You have the power to defend yourself, and you'll grow stronger in doing so. You know what I'm saying? Like, this also speaks about stress. So it's telling you to like manage your stress the best way you can. There's always new obstacles when beginning on a new path, and obstacles are everywhere. They're promised to everyone. No one is immune to obstacles or challenges. So you have to learn how to overcome them. And doing so, it's like standing in your power, basically. But don't move erratically. It also speaks about, it's like learning how to like go with the flow. So this is really like a go with the flow type of energy that I'm feeling from this reading, like a go with the flow type of energy, going with what you're guided to do. If you're guided to honestly like sleep all day, and don't think that that's like hurtful or hurting you, or judge yourself about it. Like, it's really going with the flow and going with what you're guided to do by spirit, and don't care about what other people are thinking about that, or what society says about that, because you have your own path, you have your own purpose. That's just a different path from what everyone else is doing. You're not following the leader here. You're the leader, and you're making the rules of what you feel is right for your life, and what you have to do in terms of living out your soul purpose on this planet, until it's time for you to, transition and really move forward. Not saying you're gonna die, but I mean, we're all gonna die, you know what I'm saying? But like, until it's time for you to go into your next life. So you have a really specific purpose here that is really important for the consciousness of the planet, and to really help heal the planet. And the universe is really guiding you to do that. I really do feel like your guys are a starseed or a light worker, just really like someone really here to like help heal the world at this time, which we could really, really use that. So don't put your powers aside. Don't disbelieve your power, or if you felt like you were here for a bigger purpose, you are here for a bigger purpose. You wouldn't have that idea in your head if that wasn't something that source, creator, God, whoever your higher power is, put inside of you to let you know, like, yeah, you are here for a bigger purpose. We're all here for a purpose, but some people's purposes are just bigger, not any less or more important, but just a bigger purpose, a more like conscious, like universal purpose that will last hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, like after you're long gone, after your kids are long gone, your grandkids, all that fun stuff. So it's really about using your foresight to predict oncoming complications, using your wisdom, and then correcting the action to avert them. So this is really asking you to be wise, to go with the flow, to understand that challenges and complications are going to happen. They're a part of this human experience, but it's how you deal with them, it's how you respond to them, and that will make or break your happy ending. And you do have a very happy ending. I feel like this could have a lot to do with forgiveness in terms of maybe finances, forgiveness in a relationship, especially forgiveness within yourself. We forgive not for the other people, but we forgive so we can let go of that burden. We can let go of that resentment and that bitterment and that anger and that grief, so that we can move forward and have the future that we were destined to have. Because you do have the Lovers here. So the Lovers always speaks about a soulmate relationship, a divine counterpart. And like I said, you guys are light workers. I really feel starseeds. So I'm pretty sure like you're a divine counterpart. Like you have like a twin flame soulmate, true love. And then it's about forgiving them, maybe for not I don't know if you're in contact with them or not, but it's like forgiveness. Forgive yourself for not being the partner that you could have been maybe to them. Forgive them for not being the partner that they should have been for you. But everything happened for a reason. And forgive yourself for not being the partner to yourself that you needed maybe at that time. And now you're learning how to be that partner for yourself. So we're learning how to let go of all that resentment and all that anger and all that need for validation and fear of abandonment and rejection, which I do feel happens when you're a light worker. Like light workers and starseeds, we have to transmute so much like negative, everyone's energy, honestly. If you're an empathic person, like transmute so much energy, and like we're here to heal the world and heal the consciousness, and you know what I mean, we have a plan here. So it's like you go through a lot. I feel like you feel a lot. You're very empathetic, but you have support. You are very divinely supported, and spirit is always behind you, always has your back, always, you know, wants to give you that happy ending. You just have to trust them and trust yourself. Forgive yourself for not trusting yourself in the past. Forgive yourself for maybe the wrong choices, quote unquote wrong. They weren't wrong because they brought you here, and they brought you to this point where you get to transform and you get to have that transformation that you've been craving and asking for. It's just uncomfortable. It's just a challenge because it's new and you're not used to it, but it's going to give you this happy ending. It's going to give you this new financial stability, this new success, good news, recognition, awards, victory, you know, public recognition, like all that stuff that maybe you've always wanted but didn't feel, or you thought like you could never get because of your circumstances or because of what you've done. But that's all changing, and that's all like leaving. Like it's leaving whether or not you go with the flow with it or not. Going with the flow is just making it like go easily and more like, not more comfortably, but just easier to like go with. The more you resist it, like it's just gonna be more painful, more challenging, more difficult than it when it needs to be. So definitely I do see like you thinking different about your finances, you being more confident about your financial security, and you being more disciplined with your finances. You having this happy ending where I do see you're coming out of this 8 of air energy, because you do have the 8 of air, which is the 8 of swords, and it's all about illusions of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, like I was talking about, and afraid to take action. So because it's right under happy ending, I do feel like you guys are going to get out of that. You guys are going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to take off the mask. You're going to move forward and trust and have faith that you're doing the right thing. You have I put a little like guardian angel message here. So it says the 6 of abundance. It says heaven opens its loving arms and pours abundance onto you. An unexpected gift. It's on its way. Accept it with gratitude and humility, knowing that you will have a chance to return the generosity by giving to others in the future. Consider volunteering for a charitable organization. So this is basically like the 6 of Pentacles. So you have you actually have 3 sixes here, which is all about healing, love, success, unconditional love, divinely guided support. If you haven't met your person or your like soulmate, twin flame, you are going to meet them once you transmute this and transform this energy and transform yourself and really come into yourself and who you are and speak that truth to yourself and to others. You're going to meet this person as soon as you take that next step, that action, like it is promised to you. Because the 6 of abundance in this, you can't really see it, but there's 2 people here, like a couple, and they have the guardian angel, and they have like the cornucopia of like abundance and financial wealth and financial discipline. So as soon as you let go of the old, forgive yourself for not doing what you think you should have done, because you did what you did because you knew what you knew, and now you know better, and so that's why you're changing. So just kind of go with that vibe, or try to think in that way. And as soon as you make that step to really trust the universe and make that decision, whether it be to, you know, whatever that next big decision is that you've been kind of hesitant to make, as soon as you make that decision, your whole world in life is going to change. You're going to become financially stable. You're going to have a happy ending. You're going to be confident. You're going to meet the love of your life. You're going to have that cornucopia of like abundance and wealth and prosperity and gratitude. You're going to be able to help people, because I feel like you guys, if you're starseed, like I said, or a light worker, like you guys really love helping people and giving and being charitable and working and volunteering and stuff like that. You're going to get everything you need to be the person that you've always known you were, and to have the life that you've always wanted to live. So This is really, really positive. I really love this reading. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here because that's all I see. So I hope this was helpful. Keep up the good work. You guys are so great. You guys just have that last final, like, little mental thought or mental, like, cage to get out of, and just kind of think as positive as you can. I hope this was helpful, and I hope this like gave you some encouragement and some empowerment to really make that choice and make that big choice that you've been hesitant to make. You can listen to another pile if you feel guided to do so, but I'm going to leave it here, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Whenever you find this, whenever you hear this, it is timeless. So, you know, whenever you're meant to hear it, you're meant to hear it. And I will speak to you guys later. Take care. Okay, everyone. So if you chose the second pile with the little emoji face with the hearts all over it, this is your reading of messages that you need to hear today. So we're going to start with your runes. I wish you could see these. These are so pretty, but the light, they're like opaque, so you can't really see them when the light's on it, but it's not a big deal. So the first rune, so you read runes right to left. So the first rune is going to represent your overview. The second is challenges, and then the third is going to be actions that you are advised to take. So let's start with your first one, and you have the rune of it kind of represents the horse, movement, and progress. It has all these runes have names, but since I don't know the names and I don't want to like butcher them, I'm just gonna use what they symbolize. So this rune symbolizes movement and progress, but it is in the reverse position. So this speaks that maybe in terms of like if this resonates or not, that your movement, it speaks of movement, of not being able to move, basically, of not, and not because of anything like there's an obstacle, but because it's kind of like warning you to use caution when it is time for you to move. It's like kind of saying like maybe you shouldn't act right now or right away. And it's also telling you that opportunities are never missed, but some opportunities are just ready to be utilized yet. And I do see that you have a new opportunity here, but also I see within your cards that there's a lot of ego around, a lot of fear, a lot of like sadness, hurt, misunderstandings along with this new opportunity, which is why it's actually kind of telling you like it's just not ready for you to act upon it yet. Like there's some things that need to be figured out, and I feel like it has to do a lot with the law of attraction within yourself. I feel like maybe for some of you, I feel like this is kind of like saying you've been praying for something or you've been thinking about something that you want to manifest, but you're manifesting from your head, but it's like you don't feel good about what you're manifesting, if that makes sense. So kind of like, this is a weird example, but let's say that you want a new car, and so you've been thinking like, oh, I want a new car, I want a new car, I want a new car, and you actually have the opportunity to get a new car, like everything's kind of falling into place, but like in your heart space and in your soul, you're worried that, am I going to be able to afford this car, insurance, take care of it? Like you have a lot of fear. So it's kind of like you're manifesting the thing you want, but also you're manifesting some anxiety and some fear and some, like just some really kind of negative or fear-based thoughts around this new beginning, which I feel like needs to be cleared up, which is what this rune is talking about. So it's definitely telling you to take cautions in terms of this new beginning, because you do have the new beginnings card, which is beautiful, along with individuality, manifestation, the Ace of Earth, which is the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles, but along with the 3 of Air and the Ego, which is an extra card that actually came out that like flipped out. So I feel like this is really, really important. Like this 3 of Swords and Ego is like a lot of fear, negativity, sadness, a time for like forgiveness and healing for either yourself or this new opportunity, or how this new opportunity came about. But definitely it's like you're manifesting this new opportunity, but you're also manifesting this hurt and this fear as well, like I said. So yeah, so that's what this overview is about, if that resonates. So then your next one is your challenge, which is the rune of flow. It's the rune of water. It's the conductor. This rune is upright. So it speaks about the rise and ebb of your emotions, careers, relationships. it's kind of like there's an unseen power that's going on within your situation or within your life at this time, that it's like you don't really have a lot of control right now of what's going on. The only thing you can really control, honestly, in life anyway, is your thoughts and how you feel. But it's like you don't have control over, like, I feel like for some of you, you don't even have you feel like you don't even have control over your feelings or your thoughts for some reason. I'm getting that. So it's really asking you to reevaluate, reorganize, realign your priorities. I really do feel like your priorities may be out of alignment, which it's like, it's just whatever new opportunity this is. I just feel like the rune saying it, and just with your cards, it's like not the right time to act on it. It's whatever this is for whatever reason. And I feel like for some of you, you're even scared to act on it because you just have some worry and anxiety and fear-based thoughts around this new opportunity. And then for some of you, you're scared to act on it because, or you're scared not to act on it because you think it's going to leave. If that makes sense. You think you're not going to get another opportunity, or you're not going to get a new beginning, or get this raise or financial abundance, whatever this is. Like, so you're wanting to act on it, but something is really, really nudging you not to. And I feel like you know that, but you're not listening to it out of fear. So either whatever side you fall on, like, you're not listening to your inner guidance about this particular thing, and it's just not ready to be acted upon yet. And you'll know when you're ready to act upon it, if it's still around, or if you get a new opportunity. You'll know when you're ready to act upon it, because you won't have any fear, you won't have any sadness, you won't have any anxiety, any worry, any like restrictive thoughts. You'll just kind of go with it, flow with it, instead of kind of like hesitating or being indecisive, or thinking negatively about it, because it's just not the right time. So anytime you have any type of fear around a particular new beginning or situation, it usually speaks of two things. One, it really isn't the right time, and there's more information that you need to get before you can move forward. Or two, it's not the right opportunity, and you're kind of like forcing it to be, even though it's not, because it's like you've been waiting for this, or you really want it, or you really need it, and it's just like not the right thing for you to want or need right now. So it's either like a no or a not yet. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that type of thing. So this rune also speaks about there's just more going on than meets the eye with this rune. I feel like there's more going on with this new opportunity or this new beginning than meets the eye, that I feel like is just, you don't have all the information you need. And I feel like you know that deep down, but you're not listening to it, or you're listening to it, but you don't care. Like I said, like it's kind of like either those two. And with your guardian angel message here, you do have the Two of Action, which is like the Two of Wands in the traditional tarot. And it does speak about, it says, trust your ability to make excellent choices. There's opportunities all around you if you just continue to move forward. It may be time to take on a new partner who can help you be successful in your career or creative endeavors. You need to keep your eyes on the big picture rather than the details of the moment. So I feel like with that card, even though it could just be your own fears and your own like grief. Maybe this opportunity has to do with a relationship and someone coming back to you, and they did you wrong in the past, and now they're coming back to you with like a whole bunch of new beginnings and blessings and just a whole new vibe, and you're scared that the same thing is going to happen. So you're kind of manifesting that and projecting that onto this person again, even though they are completely changed. And it's like your ego's getting the best of you. So I feel like take it how it resonates, because this is general. So either you have a decision to make and you're afraid to make because you, one, think it's the wrong time to make it, two, you think it's the wrong decision, like the wrong choice, or three, you just kind of like, you need more information about it before you can make that choice, and you're kind of forcing it. Like I said before, like I'm just repeating myself, but it will resonate differently with everyone depending on your situation and your circumstances. But that's kind of like the challenge. So the challenge is to know that there's more that's going on than meets the eye. This also represents the moon. So I feel like I said, because this is about water, this rune is about water and flow and the ebb and flow of your relationship and emotions. And I feel like right now either your emotions, your relationships, or career is kind of like ebbing and flowing. It's kind of like rising and lowering, and rising and lowering. It's not steady, but you kind of have to follow that through. And it probably has a lot to do with the moon cycles and whatever. And it probably has a lot to do with just your feelings in general. It's good to stabilize your emotions as much as you can, because with the Three of Air here, it does speak about sadness and then taking the time to heal, taking the time to forgive yourself and others, which was kind of like a similar message to the first group. If you feel guided to listen to that, there's a message about like forgiveness and stuff like that for a new beginning. But definitely, like, your emotions are not in the best place right now to kind of make this decision. That I know for sure. So it's really advising you to kind of reevaluate, like I said, reorganize, realign your priorities of what's important to you at this time and what it is that you're trying to, what are your intentions in this new beginning. Because with the ego here, your intentions could be fear-based, which is not good. It also speaks about a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, so which is also not good. Like, kind of like not being grounded in yourself, not being grounded in your spirituality, not being grounded in your authenticity of what you're truly trying to manifest, what you truly want in your life right now. So yeah. So your next rune, your last rune, it speaks about the actions to take, and you have the rune of love, partnership, talents, and gifts. So the actions you need to take with this rune, it speaks about, this is actually a really lucky rune. It represents the number 7. So like lucky number 7. So this is really a lucky time. So you are very lucky right now in terms of whatever is going on. In terms of like a new beginning, I do feel like most of you, this is a new beginning in yourself, of manifesting a better version of yourself. This is very similar to pile 1, so please check that out. But this is a new beginning within yourself, because you have the individuality here and you have manifestation and new beginning. So this is a beginning, a new type of groundedness, purpose in yourself, and letting go of this 3 of air, letting go of this hurt, this pain, this sadness, healing, forgiving yourself and others. I really feel like it speaks about forgiving yourself with the ego here. It really speaks about fear, codependency, manipulations, like all that stuff. This is very, very similar to pile 1. But really speaks about forgiving yourself and like self-love, unconditional love. You had a lot of 1s here, so if you're seeing a lot of 1s in your day-to-day life, it's spirit telling you like this is a new beginning. This is time to do things differently, to respond differently, to take action differently, to let go of the past, to manifest what you truly want, and manifest by way of like being aligned with your thoughts and your feelings. Because like I said in the beginning, if you're thinking one thing and feeling another, you're going to manifest both, but it's not going to be stable. It's not going to be consistent. There's going to be a lot of anxiety and worry around it, and we're trying not to do that. So with this rune, like I said, it speaks of being an individual, participating in relationships, but remaining subjective and independent. So like I said, not being codependent in terms of like, this could definitely have to do with a relationship as well, like a new beginning in a relationship, and you just feeling scared that you're going to repeat maybe the same mistakes as you did in the past with this person or with another person, whatever the case may be. But it's about being independent. So I really feel this is a new beginning, about being independent and being your authentic self, letting yourself grow and continue to grow and communicate independently, and letting the relationship remain, 2 individuals coming into one situation, and instead of just like you guys just being one person, because you're not one person. And I really hate that like theory, like you're one person, you and the other person are becoming one person. You're individual selves. Like, you came into this life separate, you found each other, that's great to be in a partnership, and then you will leave separately. You're going, not your, you know what I'm saying, like you have your own purpose, you have your own soul's journey that needs to be acknowledged, that you need different things than that person, and sometimes you need the same things and sometimes you need different things, and that's okay. And learning how to be okay with that, and it doesn't mean you're not right for each other, or you're not perfect for each other, or you're not meant to be together. It just means you're learning. In terms of partnerships, when coming together in relationships, you're learning how to be in a partnership, how to surrender to the fact that you have your own journey, they have their own journey, and you guys are living your journey together and helping each other and supporting each other, and being that sense of like healthy dependency, being that sense of foundation for each other, to know like you're not alone in this life, you're not alone in this human experience. Like, I can help you, and we can help each other, type of thing, if this is regarding a relationship. Which I do see the longevity. If this is a relationship, there is a new beginning of a very stable, secure, loyal, sincere relationship at hand, but it's going to have to start with you. Like, you have to be sincere and loyal and stable and secure within yourself before you can manifest this. And I feel like with the three of air and the ego, like, you're not in that secure place yet. It's like asking you to heal and to let go of those fearful negative thoughts that you have, in terms of like either relationships or with your finances, with your job, with you being yourself, whatever the case may be. It's time to like let it go, because you're very talented and you have a lot of gifts that you need to share with another person, with work, with projects, with your passions, whatever it is that you are doing in this life. So this really speaks about giving yourself respect for everything that's outside of you and giving yourself respect for everything that's inside of you as well. So you really need to respect the differences between you and others. Be an individual, which means be your authentic self. You don't have to do the same thing that everyone else is doing. I feel like maybe a lot of you feel bad for not following the status quo, quote unquote, whatever that may be, or society standards of what, wealth and success is. You name success. Success is just a word. You put the definition behind what success means to you. And if that means, having a family, being a stay-at-home mom, that's great. If that means having a career, that's great. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because like, this is your life and you have to live it and you have to be happy with it. So really like focus on respecting other people's beliefs of what success is, what happiness is, what financial stability means to them. You know what I'm saying? Let go of this anxiety and this pain that you have to be like someone else to be happy, because you don't, is what I'm getting here. It's just causing a lot of you're really like playing on your ego, and you're playing on other people's egos, and it's like time to kind of start over and manifest, not from an ego place, but from a heart filled space, and like a soul place, because it's really time for you to like come together with someone. I see, but it's like you're still like fearful of like either losing yourself or repeating mistakes from the past or something like that. Past mistakes, fears, negativity is like holding you back in terms of like coming together with another person and really having that happy family life, that financial security, that legacy that you want to leave. With the 10 of earth here, and the ace of earth is all about the inflow of abundance, promising of a new business venture, important contracts with new beginnings. And I really do feel you're having a new beginning, or you have the opportunity to have a new beginning with yourself, because this is energy, and energy can change depending on what actions you take. So, this is great spread. You have great energy right here, but I do feel like there is like some healing and forgiveness that needs to happen, so this can truly manifest in the way that you want to manifest it. So you can manifest it from a place of love instead of a place of fear, a place of positivity instead of a place of negativity, a place of like just a place of like groundedness and spiritual groundedness instead of a place of like material groundedness, because like I said, the ego card speaks of like being overly focused on material things. So really like focusing on that, and really focusing on like, not focusing so much on material things, like I said, but focusing on like your spiritual aspects, your authenticity, your individuality, and manifesting from that place. So whether this is about a relationship with work, money, you have a relationship with everything, it starts with you. So you really need to be grounded within yourself, commit to yourself, really be an individual when it comes to family matters. So maybe your family wants you to be a certain way and you just want to live your life differently. Doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it worse. It just makes it your unique path. We all have a unique path. Respect your path, respect those of others, and really speak your truth when it comes to that kind of stuff, and let go of this fear like you're gonna hurt someone's feelings, because I feel like the only person who you're hurting is yourself. Honestly, you're only hurting your own feelings, because it's like, I also feel like your family, if this is your family wanting you to be a certain way, it's like you haven't spoken up about it. You haven't said anything about it, and it's just hurting you, because you're just in this pain and you're in this fear of like, if I don't do what they say, you're afraid like they're not going to love you or support you. And I honestly don't see that as being the case. I feel like their intentions are good. I feel like they're just coming across as like, maybe they think you don't know what you want, or they think you don't know who you are, so they're kind of like telling you, which happens a lot. And this is just giving you the opportunity to tell them who you are, to tell them what you want. And they will respect that because you will respect yourself for telling them, and that will just project onto them. Well, they will respect you. They may not agree with it, they may not like it, but that's none of your concern. And that has a lot to do with them and nothing with you, but they will respect it because you respect yourself and you respect your decisions. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they just feel like they just have all these ideas in their head because you haven't really spoken up or taken action, or you've just been in a really like fear-based place or ego-based place or something like that, depending on your situation. And you just kind of need to speak up and manifest, like I said, from a place of authenticity, because you do have beautiful new beginnings and a beautiful like ending. You're just kind of really sad and hurt, and you need to forgive yourself and manifest this forgiveness. Set the intentions to forgive yourself and forgive others, forgive your family, forgive a partner if this is in terms of a love partnership or whatever, because you do have a luck on your side. And you have a lot of good like energy, a lot of lucky energy to really make and manifest decisions that are more authentic to who you want to be in this world, who you want to be in this life, and the type of life you want to manifest. So that's all I see. I'm going to leave it here. I hope this resonated. If not, like I said, check out my other piles. Number 1 was kind of similar, so there may be additional information in there for you if you feel guided to do so. And I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Okay, my third pile. So if you chose the emoji with the 2 hands coming together, the praying hands, this is your reading. So we're going to start with your runes of an important message that you need to hear today. So I wish you could see them. They're really pretty. They're just really opaque because they're made out of like opal stones, so you can't really see them with the light, but that's okay. So your first rune here is going to represent your overview. The second is going to represent challenge, and then your third is going to represent actions to take. And you read runes from right to left instead of left to right, like normally. So your first rune here, you have the rune of separation, retreat, and inheritance. So your overview here, I really do feel like you guys are going through a difficult situation, but it's like the end of it, and it's really asking you to get ready to manifest your dreams. So there's a lot of change going on in your life. I feel like you need to be patient with, you need to become calm, you need to become still, because you are going through the end of a difficult situation, and you have to embrace this change, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how like hard it may be, and just expect things to get better from now. Law of attraction. And I feel like a lot of you guys are recovering from a certain challenge or a certain situation. It could be addiction for some, but it's like you guys are coming out of that and into a better situation. But the more that, almost like the magician, because you do have your guardian angel card here is the magician, number 1, and you have 10 here, so you do have a new beginning, but you are going through this like change and transformation, and it requires you to be more thoughtful, more creative, more warm, more sensible, more dependable, and very, very patient. I feel like this is an energy of being really, really patient. And I feel like maybe you guys have a lot of pent up energy, or feel really like restless. So the physical activity kind of speaks of that, where maybe it's time for you guys to get moving, get some exercise, walk, run, jog, swim, do something active to kind of release this pent up energy that you have that's making you maybe not feel so positive about the future, or not feel so like this, or it's just making you not feel like this difficult situation is coming to an end. And it's because you still are holding on to the energy of that situation, and it needs to move out, it needs to get out of you. So physical activity is the best way to kind of do that, and it's going to change your mindset. It's going to induce endorphins, and like it's going to just help you think more confidently. It's going to help you deal with challenges in a more kind and understanding manner. It's going to help you to want to deal with challenges and do something more challenging in the future and learn something new, like learn a new skill or something like that. Because so with the guardian angel card here, it says manifest your dreams. It's equivalent to like the magician in the traditional tarot, and it says you're ready to go. There's no need for additional preparation. Take the first steps forward. The changes you desire, even if they're small steps. Notice signs that guide you in the right direction, as well as resources and support that miraculously appear. So this card really speaks about law of attraction. So whatever's going on within is gonna go on without, like on the outside of you. So this is really telling you it's time to make those necessary steps, or take those necessary steps and make those necessary changes that you're guided to make in terms of like your stability. I feel like this could be in terms of your work, your finances. It could be anything in terms of like practicality, your day-to-day life and stuff like that. I feel like it's time for you to get serious and really, really make time to be more practical in your endeavors with money. Make time for something that you want to do. Even if you're just starting out and you think it won't be successful, you have to trust that it will be successful. You're just in the beginning stages of it. You're just kind of like a new, like with the page of earth, it's a page. So it's just learning how to be stable. It's just learning how to be patient and successful. It has great, great ambitions, and it sees like the desire and the passion for wanting this stability like the Queen of Earth has, but it still has to learn. It still has to learn more challenging steps and be more open to challenges, and know that challenges are just a part of life, but it's what you learn from them. It's how you overcome them. It's how you respond to them that really makes a difference, because you are ending a difficult situation. And I feel like if you do something physical to kind of, because I really do feel like pent up energy of like this situation that has been challenging, it's just kind of, you're just holding it in your body, or tension in your neck or your head or your chest or whatever. The more you get moving, like take a walk for 15 minutes, the more that you'll just feel stronger and more confident to deal with whatever's going on in your life, and to kind of tie up loose ends and end a difficult situation and go through this change. Because I feel like a lot of it could be like an ego death for some of you, like your egos are dying. The Ten of Air kind of speaks of that. It's like the Ten of Swords with the 10 swords in the guy's back in the traditional tarot. So it really is like, it's time for you to just expect things to get better now, but in the midst of change, it is going to be uncomfortable, and kind of just accept that you are in an uncomfortable situation right now. The more you get moving, the more you do something in physical activity, the more physical activity you do, the more that you will kind of flow through it. It may not get so comfortable, but you'll flow through the uncomfortability. What am I trying to say? You'll flow through it better, and just kind of be more patient with yourself, and like learn how to depend on yourself, and just, definitely patience. You'll just learn how to be more patient with yourself. So this rune really speaks of that. It means shutting yourself of the past that you hang on to. It's really a time to surrender yourself in radical severance. It says you may need to submit to something, or you may need to retreat in a timely manner. You may need to give something up so you can inherit something better. It also speaks of property sometime, birthright, inheritance, like I said. But it really, really does speak of something that you must give up in order to receive something that is more suited to who you are, that is more authentic to yourself. So it really does speak of like separation, retreat, giving up something so you can gain something, and giving up maybe this ego death, or some negative thoughts, or some negative thinking, whatever the situation that has been difficult, really letting that end, letting that die, not holding it so much in your body, because I really do feel like you're holding a lot of stress and anxiety and tension and worry and pain in your body, and that needs to be released and expelled out of your body. And really like releasing that so you can gain what is rightfully yours, what you inherited when you decided to come on this planet Earth as a human being, and letting go of anything else that maybe you, during your journey here as being a human being, you kind of maybe adopted as yourself, whether it be a thought, a relationship, a situation, whatever the situation may be. That's ending, in a new way, and a new authentic way of being, and a new authentic life of yours is coming into fruition here. You're manifesting your dreams, but to have a new beginning, something needs to die, something needs to end, and it's just, the ending is just difficult, but you're at the end of it. I feel like I said, you just need to get more physical to really release the last pent up energy of it. Even if you're not in the difficult situation, you're still holding on to it energetically, I feel, and it kind of needs just to be released. So really get outside, or if you can, or just exercise as much as you can, even if it's just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. The more physically active you are, the better that this situation will go for you, like I said, and you'll just flow with it. But it really does speak of surrendering letting go of anything that you adopted while you've been here, while you've been a human, since you were born. Negative thoughts, negative beliefs, morals that don't belong to you, ethics, anything that you have adopted or has been projected onto you that you have adopted as your own is being let go of, and like the new you is coming through here, the new authentic you, something that's really that is really why you came here on this earth, like things that really belong to you, like prosperity, wealth, health, abundance, all that stuff that really belongs to you, and letting go of anything else, poverty conscious, like illnesses, anything else that has just kind of dragged you down and made you feel like you're at your wit's end and that you can't go on anymore. That's being let go of, in a new way of being, like I said, new sense of stability and like success, and is being brought forth to you, or you're manifesting it. So you just have to let go of this last little bit. So that's your overview. So the second rune here, the middle one, speaks of challenges, and it is the rune of this is such a weird rune to me. So it speaks about possessions and nourishment, but it is in the reverse. So this speaks about frustration in your life from being deprived of what you needed or what you need now. And it's saying don't let these frustrations from perceived deprivations hinder your growth, because you are growing, you are moving forward, you are coming out of this, like I said, this difficult situation, and you're learning that joy is fleeting. Joy is a decision that you can find joy in like the smallest, darkest, loneliest corners of like whatever is inside of you. Any shadow, you can find joy. And it's you're learning, you're realizing and learning like joy is like a choice. You can decide to be happy. Happiness is a choice. It's not like it's not a success. It's not like an end goal. It's who you are. It's what you will become. It's a choice to have right now in the present, and then carry that forth throughout your life until it's time for you to transition onto your next life. I hope that makes sense. So it's basically saying the lack of satisfaction is a clean slate in which you can learn what truly nourishes you. So I feel like your challenge here is you're having a hard time of learning what truly is gonna make you happy, what truly is nourishing you. After you're letting go of all this stuff that didn't belong to you, that you carried on, maybe your family projected on you, all this hardship, all this like is just like negativity and like sorrow and pain and hard times. After you let all that go, you're really trying to manifest what is really going to make you happy, what is really going to make you feel stable, what is really going to make you feel secure, what do you really want to do with your life, what is your purpose, like what do you want to give to the world before you move on to the next, you know what I'm saying, in your next life. Like what is it that you really want to achieve? And I feel like you're really struggling, or it's a challenge for you right now to really see that through at this particular time. But I feel like you're gonna know. I feel like you just have to be patient with yourself and just know you're going through this transition, this change. And I feel like you're kind of in between worlds. You're not quite out of the difficult situation, but you're not in the new manifested grounded, warm, creative, sensible success situation. And I feel like you have to kind of just accept that you're kind of in between the worlds right now. And it may not be the right time to really decide like what you want to do and what you have, but you can dream and you can imagine. And I feel like you already know. I feel like it's just kind of making those decisions and those intentions to set forth to like bring that into fruition, if that makes sense. But yeah, your challenge is really like letting go of frustrations, letting go of, deprivations. And you maybe throughout this process, you've, because once you realize what you don't want, you know what you want. So everything happens for a reason. This difficult situation happened for a reason, because you now realize what you want. It's maybe just you don't know what actions to take, and maybe you're not in the best place right now where you should be taking actions to go forth. It's just a time to kind of wrap up loose ends with this difficult situation and just dream and manifest and think about all the things you want to do and feel it, and like really, really, really like manifest your dreams, and really like then take the steps forward that you're guided to take when you feel good enough to take those steps forward. Because I feel like you're just kind of stuck in this frustrating energy and feeling deprived, and then you feel like it's hindering your growth, but it's not. It's actually excelling you forward to grow and to be the person that you've always wanted to be, to have the life you've always wanted to live, to have the stability and the success and the money, whatever success means to you. This difficult situation is pushing you towards that. So think of it like that and just kind of accept it and know, like, like I said, like, joy is all around you. You can find the joy in that, then you can manifest your dreams like that. Like, it'll just happen like super, super fast. But it's like anytime you feel like the lack of satisfaction is like depriving you and like you're not satisfied, it's like you're kind of still stuck, like I said, in that energy. Even if you're not really in that situation, you're still stuck in the energy of it. And it really, really, really is advising you to like move to get it out so you can manifest your dreams and manifest the future you want, and then take the steps you're guided to take in those dreams. Because right now, the only steps, honestly, I see you're guided to take is exercise. You're not really, even though you have the manifest your dreams here with the magician, it only works when you are in alignment with what you want and when you feel good and when you're thinking good thoughts. If you're thinking one thing and feeling another, then you're not going to manifest what you want, and you're going to be conflicted and confused, and you're not going to like the results of that. So it's really getting you to feel good, and you feel good through exercise, which works out. This is like a great combination of cards. Through exercise, through patience, through creativity, through making time for the things you care about, for learning new skills, learning something that you've always wanted to learn, a new area of study that you've always been like interested in. It's like starting over. I feel like you guys are getting a second start in life is what I'm feeling here, and a new chance. And you're still kind of maybe focused on this difficult situation that ended, but you really, really need to set your thoughts on what is positive, what you really want to accomplish, what you really want to change about yourself and in your life, so you can have the life that you've always wanted to live, that you've inherited, it was promised to you before you came here, all the wealth and prosperity and success that you could ever want. And remember, success is what you make it. Success is different for everybody. So whatever success means to you, that is what it's promised to you. But this difficult situation had to happen for you to realize what you truly wanted. So don't ever think, why this is happening, or be in a victim mode, or be like really like dramatic about what's happening. It happened for a reason, and you really need to kind of think in that terms of like everything happens for a reason, and it's purposeful, and it helps you discover what you really wanted and who you really are, and that you were stronger than probably what you perceived yourself to be, and that you can move forward. Like, your life is not done. That situation is done. It's happened. It's in the past now, and it's just really time to move forward and not get stuck into that energy of like cynicism and like pessimism and stuff like that. It's like, embrace the change that you want. Embrace the change that is upon you right now. Expect things to get better. The more you expect things to get better, the more that they will. So that's your challenge. So for your actions, we have here the rune of light and joy, super positive, and it's upright. So the rune of light and joy speaks of transformation has occurred. It speaks of transformation has occurred. It has transpired. You need to forget all your old plans and enjoy this new path that you have embarked on. Like I said, this is such a great reading. Oh my God. So this rune speaks of your actions of like really embracing this new plan, this new path that you are on, and knowing that you are on a new path. You're not in the same path of like the difficult situations and the challenges and the hurts and the pains and the backstabbings of people and friends and family. You're not in that anymore. You have a clean slate to do whatever it is that you feel and what you want to do, you're guided to do based on who you want to be on this earth and what you want to give to this earth before you leave, and what type of life you want to have. So it really speaks of, this rune really speaks of like the fruits of your labor after a cycle has undergone a full revolution. It speaks of you achieving understanding through knowledge on this journey, through this difficult situation. This difficult situation taught you so much about yourself, and it really taught you a lot if you embrace it and know that it did teach you a lot, and it did teach you about yourself and about your energy and about who you are and who you want to be and the people who you want to be with and stuff like that. So it really also speaks about you are given new energy right now, and you will be given more energy after you finish tie up the loose ends of this pain and hurt of this like Ten of Swords energy. And with this new energy, it gives you joy, and it gives you divinity, and it gives you light and abundance and prosperity. It gives you all the things that you've ever wanted. Like, you really are out of a cycle, like, for sure. And you just really need to embrace that you are out of a cycle. You're not in the cycle. Energetically, you might be, but you're going to exercise, because that's what's guided here, to really get the last bit of that energy out, so you don't have it residue, you don't have it messing up your manifestations and messing up your future, your new path forward, and messing up your fruits. You really have undergone a full revolution, or you're undergoing a full revolution right now, to bring you the joys and the lights and the abundance and the success and the prosperity that you want. So this is really similar to all the piles so far. So if you really feel guided to listen to another pile, like it's I feel like it may be similar to the first one more than the second one, but they both kind of have the same thing, the same theme of like a new path forward, manifesting your dreams, being more grounded, abundance, a new beginning, all that stuff. Or pile 2 was actually more about abundance and practicality and having a new beginning. So that actually instead of number 1, number 2 might resonate more. So feel free to listen to that if you feel guided to. But this really just speaks about you undergoing a big change, and you feeling uncomfortable with the change, but you having the ability and that new energy to be the change you want to see in the world, to be the change you want to see in your life, to be the change you want to see in your family's life, to really undergo that transformation, let that die, and like adopt new attitudes, new beliefs, new just new everything that more is aligned with who you really are, and just really being patient with yourself through this process. Like, patience is very much needed. You have a lot of cards that speak of patience, and so patience is very much needed. But you are coming out the end of it. There's like, basically you can see the light. You're almost at the end of the tunnel. You just have this little bit to wrap up with, and you will see like great benefits of you changing your perspective, changing your beliefs, adopting new beliefs, new thoughts, new everything, new values, new ethics, and just, changing yourself for the better, to be the best version of yourself, basically. So this is really positive spread. Like I said, number 2 is kind of similar, so you may want to look at that. So I'm going to leave it here, and I hope that this resonated with you. I hope that this helped you on your journey in some way. Like I said, check out another pile if you feel guided to do so, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Okay, so my last pile with this really pretty mermaid emoji, pile 4. These are important messages that you need to hear today. So let's get started. So with your runes, I'm going to start with your runes. You have 3 runes here. The first one represents your overview, the second is your challenge, and the third is actions to take. So you read runes from right to left instead of left to right. So we're just gonna get started with that. And so your first rune we have here is symbolizes strength, womanhood or manhood. Also represents the ox. So this rune, as an overview, is actually really positive to get, because it signifies in transition, which I really do see throughout your cards here, that you are going through a rebirth, or you have gone through a rebirth or a transition where you're becoming more your authentic self, which seems to be the theme throughout all my piles. So if you feel like guided to watch another one of my piles, you'll get the same message. Like, everyone's going through a rebirth, a transition, a transformation. But yours is more in respects to who you really are, your authenticity. It's in respect to relationships with others, not just like love partnerships, but family, friends, co-workers, society, humanity. It's really about going within and going back to who you really were before people told you who you were supposed to be. So it's kind of like this room represents like metamorphosis, like the caterpillar morphing into the butterfly. It's like a really, really strong transformation going on within your life, within your world, within your circumstances, but really going on within you. Like, you're really going through a really deep transformation. But I do feel like you're handling it pretty well. You're pretty balanced. You're persevering through it. You have really, really positive cards. So these big changes are happening, and they require you to leave old habits, traditions, lifestyles, thoughts, beliefs behind that no longer belong to you. This is really, really like I said, a positive change, but change is never easy. It's always uncomfortable. But like I said, I feel like you guys are handling it pretty well. I feel like you guys have been either in this change for a while or kind of like at the last leg of it. But whatever the case may be, like, you really are becoming more of who you are and going towards those more things that make you emotionally and spiritually happy. Like, you're really caring about how you feel. Through this change though, I feel like a lot of you, or maybe some of you, fear that you will lose someone you love, or you will lose things that once made you happy. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, you know that those things no longer make you happy, but it's like the fear of actually leaving it behind. It's what's causing maybe like a hesitation, or causing some type of like I sense a hesitation, but I feel like you're gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's just, you're just really, I feel like you guys feel really guided and pushed to really make this change and to really go after your dreams about what is really gonna make you happy, what is really gonna fulfill you emotionally and spiritually. This is also a rune about being humble, because you're growing with the universe. The universe is always growing, it's always evolving, it's always raising its vibrations, and you're really like on your true path. So if you need a confirmation to see if you were on your path, if you were doing the right thing in your life, this is like a big, 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 like capital, like all capital letters, yes. Like, you are on your true path. You are on your true journey of like unconditional love, of really being happy and going after what is really going to make you happy. Like I said, it also speaks about being mindful of new opportunities that arise, because these opportunities are going to help you to persevere your growth, to really expand yourself, to really expand your charisma, your communication, to really expand your soul, to really grow your soul. You're really on like a soul's journey of like growth, which is really, really positive. It's really, really beautiful to see. You have really, really positive cards. Like, nothing I see, I maybe a little bit of hesitation, but that's it. But you're really just coming into your own. You're forming new partnerships with people and leaving old ones that are not balanced, are not reciprocal, are not fair, are not just, or just don't make you happy anymore. You're leaving those behind. You're completely changing your whole, like, you're just going through a really great and powerful transformation within yourself, and that is reflecting on your outside world, and you're really coming into stuff that really like resonates with your soul, resonates with how you feel about yourself, and resonates with who you are today, and not with who you were in the past or who you were told you were supposed to be by whoever or whatever. Oh my God, I'm like losing my voice, so I hope you guys can hear me, because I feel like I've just been talking so much throughout these readings, and it's like, oh, it's so annoying. But anyway, so that is your overview with that rune. So your second rune speaks of challenges, and it is the rune of constraint, necessity, pain. It also speaks about problems that you create for yourself or create for others. So I do feel like maybe for like a few of you, you do feel like this change is creating problems for others, but you're taking that on as something that you're responsible for, and you're not responsible for how anyone feels or how anyone accepts or or anyone's happiness at all. You're responsible for your own self. You weren't put on this earth to make every single person happy. You were put on this earth to make yourself happy, and through that example, people will learn how to be happy. Like, you weren't here to make everyone happy. Like, they have the ability to do that. They have the same guidance, the same, spiritual guidance, spiritual team you have, that you decided you want to make this change for yourself. They have that same guidance, and it's up to them to decide to use it, to acknowledge it, and to know that they can too make a change and transform. We all can be butterflies. We don't all always have to be a caterpillar. Like, we can be a butterfly when we choose to be a butterfly, and it's not your job to like make this person a butterfly, because you can't. A caterpillar has to decide, like, hey, like, it's time for me to become a butterfly. So that could be a problem for some, if that makes sense to you, like, where you feel like you're just creating other issues, but it's more like you just feel responsible for other people, and that's not your problem. Another challenge may be that you're having a hard time reflecting upon yourself or what has caused you pain in the past. I feel like you're doing a lot of reflecting on your past. So you're thinking about on the pain that you endured or had to go through that got you to this point of wanting to make this really like significant change in your life. And you're really maybe struggling to really work on yourself and really come to terms with who you really are. You know you're on the right track, and you know you're on the right journey, and you know you're doing the right thing, but really like discovering who you are without the help, without other people, I'm not gonna say the help, without other people telling you, is kind of new to you. So that could be a challenge to you. This rune does speak of like mending rather than separation. So I feel like maybe a lot of you guys may be in hermit mode through this transition, which is perfectly fine, but they're just telling you like you don't have to stay there. You don't have to isolate yourself completely from people. You just have to kind of set up boundaries, respect yourself, and they in turns will respect you. They may not understand you, they may not agree with you, but they will respect you. And if they don't respect you, then that means that you can separate from them. But it's really asking you don't have to separate yourself. You just have to mend. Forgive yourself, forgive others. We all are on this journey. We all have our own soul lessons. We all have to do what we feel guided to do. And you're not responsible, or, other people are not responsible for you, and you're not responsible for other people's soul growth, soul journey. Like I said, we all have the same guidance. So it's time to kind of like maybe release responsibility. I'm almost getting like a 10 of Wands type of energy. Like you just feel burdened by other people's things, and it's not your burden to carry other people's things, other people's happiness, other people's expectations of you. It's only meant to like really just carry yourself in the way that you want to see yourself throughout this life, or throughout this journey of your life, if that makes sense. So this also speaks about maybe like paying your debts, solving long-lasting problems. I feel like you're trying to solve problems from the past or solve other people's problems, and like I said, they're not your problems to solve, so you really kind of have to let that go. Also, maybe you could be having, what am I trying to say? Character is built through adversity. So I feel like you're going through a lot of adversity right now. And this adversity is to help you grow, to help you love yourself. And I feel like you're not seeing it that way. You're kind of seeing it as constricting and painful, because you don't want to hurt other people, or you feel responsible for other people. And like I said, it's just time to kind of, you don't have to isolate yourself, but you do have to speak your truth and speak like, I'm not responsible for your finances or your debts or your, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your situation may be, it's kind of like setting those boundaries and setting those conditions. Like, I'm responsible for myself and you're responsible for yourself. I can help you, and I can do what I can, but I can't give you everything I am or everything I have. Saying that's not your job. And that's just not your job. So I feel like that could be an issue and a challenge you're kind of going with in terms of like challenges and adversity and stuff like that. But it's helping you to grow and helping you to speak your truth and really come into yourself and really come into who you want to be. This rune, it does speak about pain. So it disguises pain through dark moments, dark nights of the soul. Your psyche, your thoughts could be really kind of like restrictive or negative, or really like you're thinking the worst, almost like the Nine of Swords I'm getting with this as well. It does speak about suffering. It's kind of like undergoing the darkness before you can get to the dawn type of thing, which may be a challenge because it's like, I feel like you're avoiding it for some of you. And it's like, you don't want to feel this pain. You don't want to feel like you're letting people down, but you know you have to, and you're going to persevere because you do have the perseverance card, and you're going to go through it. It's just going through it that's difficult and painful. But I feel like a lot of it comes from your thinking about it, because you're thinking that it's painful. It may not be as painful as what it's actually like, what is actually happening. I think it's just your thoughts about it that is making it painful. And it's just because you're scared to really fully commit, even though you have to, you're going to do it. But it's like, you're expecting like everyone to kind of like dissipate and like leave you and not love you anymore, and really like think you're like the worst person ever because you're like actually standing up for yourself and actually coming into your own and actually speaking your truth, which is like, you have to get those thoughts out of your head because they're stalling your progress. Even though you're making progress, they're stalling you a little bit. So that could be a challenge. It's just like your constrictive thinking, your painful thoughts about what's going to happen before something actually happens. Like, you're thinking too far into the future instead of just kind of being present, going with the flow, standing in your truth, standing in your truth, being in a neutral state, because you do have the Justice here, which means doing what you know is right for yourself and standing up for your beliefs, coming into yourself, helping people, doing what you can to help people, but knowing it's not your responsibility to help everybody. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can, but don't do like everything, because then you take their power away from them from doing stuff, and you take away their guidance and everything. It's unnecessary. So just know, like, you're responsible for yourself. You do what you can. You help when you can, but it's not your responsibility to help everybody and everything. It's only your responsibility to do and to stand in your truth and to be true to yourself and to help yourself so that you can help others. If you can't help yourself, then you can't help others. So maybe get into that perspective of really trying to help yourself and love yourself so that you can help and love others. So that could be a challenge that you may be going through. But like I said, your cards are not really challenging. So if anything, I just feel like it's your thoughts about what's going on. Even though you feel guided to do it, you feel good, but maybe your thoughts about it aren't exactly positive or something like that. So your actions here, this is so cool. So you have a blank rune, and a blank rune is, like, to me, a lucky rune because it speaks of true purpose, destiny, really like making your own rules, like creating your own destiny. Basically, it's like a blank slate. So your action is to make your own destiny, manifest your own destiny. It's showing you that you have followed yourself, you have followed your guidance, you have followed what you feel to be right for you wisely, and that you're on the right path. It's also about letting the unknown happen and be willing to move outside of yourself. So like I said, what I was saying prior, it's like letting the chips fall where they may, but you are going to stand to what is true and fair and just for you, and whatever happens. But as long as you're true, you're just, you're fair, you're coming into your own, you're persevering, you're loving yourself and doing what you know is right for yourself and on this journey in this life, whatever else happens is just going to happen. And you don't have to think so negatively about it. You don't have to think about it at all. All you have to do is think about what you want to do, who you want to be, and what you want to become, and the life you want to live, and everything will kind of work out the way it's supposed to. It may be difficult, it may be challenging. Some people may not like it. Some people may have a hard time with you changing and growing and stuff, but that's not your problem. It's none of your business what they think about your life anyways. So it's really just getting your thoughts to being like very, very like releasing expectations and just very into yourself right now, but not in like a self-absorbed, selfish way, but really in a self-loving way. Like, you deserve to have what you want to have in this life, everything that you've ever dreamed of when you were little, and just going forward. You want that unconditional love in terms of partnership. You want equal exchange in partnership, equal love exchange in partnership. You want justice. You want fairness within your life. You want to come into new partnerships that are going to help you persevere in your life. You want to come into partnerships that are going to help you be successful and be abundant and are very positive and uplifting. It's like you get to write your destiny with this rune. You get to decide that. You get to manifest that with your thoughts and your feelings, and it being so aligned that you just manifest it not out of the blue, but rather quickly. So it also speaks about self-change, creative powers, and progress that you're making. So just know you are making progress. You are coming into your own. You are manifesting your desires. It's just your thoughts may be a little bit like restrictive, constraint, and painful about, the outcome of all this change that you're doing and how it's going to affect others. But like I said, that's not your problem. You're not responsible for how others perceive you, and it's none of your business how others perceive you. It's only your business to take care of yourself and to take care of whatever else you feel guided to take care of, like whether it be people or charity work or whatever else you feel guided to do. That's your only responsibility. And to not over give or, give because you're seeking validation or because you feel bad, but giving because it's fair, it's right, it's just. And even though it may be like, maybe the justice or the fair thing for you to do is to not give any more money or any more like effort into a situation or any more time into a situation because it's like they don't appreciate it or because they just don't reciprocate the energy back. And the universe is not going to allow like for you to keep giving and giving to people and it not being reciprocated, which means you have to make the decision to cut that off, to know that it's not fair to you and you deserve for love and energy and time and money and effort to be reciprocated to you and opportunities and stuff like that. And like if they're not giving it to you, you have to leave them behind. And it's not because you don't love them, it's because you love yourself. So kind of like change your perception in terms of like self-love and self-giving and self-confidence and stuff like that. Like it's more like giving to yourself what you deserve because you're not getting it from others, which is basically what everyone should be doing. We all should be giving to ourselves so that we can give to others. Instead of seeking out what we can get from others, we should be seeking what we can give to others. It totally changes your perception and just makes you more like grateful and more like present and more like just knowing like you don't depend on others for validation or anything like that, but you depend on source, creator, yourself, your intuition and your instincts to give you what you want. So you're really kind of rewriting your destiny and rewriting your whole life. Like you're going through like a second chance at life, a second chance at really coming into yourself and coming into partnerships that are balanced and that are fair and that are just, because you're becoming more fair and just and balanced within yourself. This is super positive. I love this. This really resonates with like the rest of the readings. So if you have the time, I would just read or listen to the rest of the cards because it kind of like tells a story, to be honest. So, but the same thing, the same like thing and theme is like in the readings of like a second chance at being who you really want to be and having the life you really want to live. So yeah, this is really positive. I didn't really speak a lot about your cards. Oh, let me tell you your guardian angel message. So you have the Eight of Emotions, which is equivalent to the Eight of Cups in traditional tarot. It says you feel a deep longing for something meaningful in your life. In your heart, you know that there's more out there waiting for you in the world. It may be time to switch careers, move to a new home or city, or initiate another important change. Do what's right for you and seek out your magical new life. So this really like kind of ties up what I was saying, like really do what's right for you. You're longing for that soul fulfillment, that emotional fulfillment that you know belongs to you, that you were like, that you inherited as you became a human on this earth, that was promised to you from like way before you were born, to be on this earth and to have that love, that reciprocation, that time, that energy, that money, that abundance, that opportunities, paying off debts, like you've paid your debts to society. And what I'm trying to say is you've paid your debts in terms of like people, And maybe in a past life, if you believe in past lives and karma and stuff like that, maybe you took a lot from these people, and so in this life you were meant to give to them. But it's like, whatever the case may be, that debt is paid off, and now it's time to give to yourself and come into balanced relationship with yourself and balanced relationships with people. So everything happens for a reason. So if you were over giving and not getting enough from people in your life, that time has come to an end, and I think you know that, which is why you have the Eight of Cups, which is like moving on to more happier times, more emotionally fulfilling and spiritual times, and coming into partnerships that are more equal and balanced and fair and just, especially in love and in money and in time and in effort. And I feel like you just know it's time to do that. You're just kind of hesitant because you know it means you're gonna probably disappoint people, but again, that's none of your concern. That's none of your business. You have to do what's right for you. You have to follow your guides. You have to follow your instincts in terms of this. You have to follow your intuition. And your intuition, and you're already on the right path. You're already doing the right thing. It's just you have to kind of change your thinking and change your perception of why you're doing it. Instead of thinking like, hey, I'm hurting people, think of like, hey, I'm loving myself and I'm doing something that is going to help me, help you guys maybe later down the road or later in the future, or just help others. Whatever you feel guided and you feel just to do that in terms of like who you give to and what you give. But just know, like, you're not responsible to give to anyone. You're not responsible for anyone's pain, hurt, suffering. Like, you can help, but it's not your job to fix. You know what I'm saying? Like, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for life. So it's more about teaching, less giving, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. It's like a quote, but like, I really hope that made sense. So I'm gonna leave it here because this is really positive and really uplifting, and I'm really like, I just feel like saying congratulations to you guys. Like, you guys have really come out of it and really discovered who you are and what you want, and really, bravery and courage should always be applauded because fear is such a big thing nowadays, especially now. And anytime you can overcome a fear, you're already like 100 steps. Like, the universe is already like giving you abundance and already applauding you and giving you everything that you need to succeed and move forward and to really help society and help the conscious universe. So you guys should be really, really proud of yourselves. So give yourselves, I can't speak today. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you really do deserve it. So I'm gonna leave it here because I just can't speak today, and I feel like I'm losing my voice for some reason, and it's just a mess. So I hope this resonated. Feel free to check out one of my other piles, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.